Miss Olivia here, teaching our Ballet 1 class. Make sure you got on some ballet shoes, something that can really let you point your feet. If you don't have ballet shoes, socks, maybe barefoot, just make sure that you can really stretch your feet in whatever you're wearing. All right, let's get started. We are going to start on the floor today. We're going to do some stretching. Let's see, can you see me? No. Let's go here. Yeah, this is good. All right, friends. So we're going to make sure that our back is really, really straight. We're going to make sure that our shoulders are pressing down away from our ears. We're going to make sure that our knees are down towards the ground. And our toes, we're going to point and flex them. Good. Now when we're pointing and flexing, we never want our toes to point before our heels. So let me stand up, keep pointing and flexing, keep staying on the ground, but I'm going to show you what I mean. We never want, so you can see me, just our toes to point and our ankles not to point. We want our ankles to point first. So we want to roll through our ankles and then press our toes towards the ground. And the same thing when we're coming up. Our toes will flex first and then our ankles. So keep practicing that and think about what that feels like. Let your ankles and then your toes come up and then ankles. Ankles and toes, toes and ankles. Good. Keep going. Do a couple more. Get your feet really nice and warm. All right, and now let's fold over. We'll bring our arms to fifth and lower to our toes. Let's get a really good stretch here. Really try to pull your nose down towards your toes. Get a good stretch behind your knees. And come up. Now, let's take our toes together, our feet together, I should say. And we're gonna be in butterfly position, and we're gonna be squeezing our knees down towards the floor. With our back still really, really straight. Shoulders down, lengthening through the back of our neck. So as if somebody was pulling your bun up and back. Yeah. Good. Maybe we take one hand down and push the opposite knee towards the ground. And then we're gonna let go of our hand and try to keep your knee there. Yeah, you gotta keep it there with your muscles. Try the other side. And keep it there. Good. Maybe bring our nose to our toes here. Try to get a really good stretch. This is great for your turnout. This will make your feet really turn out in all of your ballet positions. You should do this stretch like every night when you're going to bed. Before you go to bed, this is a great stretch to do. Really important to stretch every day. A little closer. And come up. Good. Now, let's take our legs out into a straddle position. Now remember, our toes are facing up towards the ceiling. They're not coming in at all. They stay up. Our knees stay straight. We're lengthening. Our stomach is engaged. Our shoulders are pressing down away from our ears. Good. Let's go to one side. Reach a little farther. Keep the opposite hip down. Don't let it come over like this. Our chest doesn't close off either. It stays open. Now let's try the other side. Reaching, reaching. This hip doesn't lift up at all. Your toes stay really pointed. and come up, and let's go into the middle. So we're gonna take our hands in front of us, and we're gonna make sure that our toes stay up. We're gonna slowly walk our hands in front of us. The second we feel our toes start to come in, we have to stop. Now we're gonna hold as far as we can go. Try to relax your turnout muscles. That's right where your hips meet your bum. So we keep them turning out, but we don't want to clench them, right? So we don't want to just clench it all, because then we don't have any room to go anywhere. And come up. Good. Now let's stand up. And I've got my ballet bar. You're gonna want something that you can use to balance. The back of a chair works great. Countertop works great. If all you've got is a wall works too. Something that you can use to keep your balance. All right? We're gonna start facing the bar. That means 2 hands are on the bar. Think about measuring how far away your hands are. You want just the tops of your hands to be able to reach. Got it? Good. We're gonna start in parallel 6 position. Means our feet are together and we're face parallel. We're gonna just walk through our feet a little bit. So what I mean by that is we're gonna take one foot up to releve or forced arch and the other. We're gonna go back and forth. Think about those ankles touching and really pressing up against each other every time. Good. Really getting our feet all warmed up. Do you see how when we're in this forced arch position, this is just like when we're doing our demi-point. This is our demi-point just like on the ground. So our ankles are pointing, but our toes are flexed. Really see what that feels like. Try to go as far forward as you can with that toe, without lifting up those toes. Now let's come all the way to a point. Point, demi, switch, demi, point, demi, switch, demi, point, demi, switch, demi, point, demi, switch. Good. All right, I'm gonna turn the music down a little. Now we're gonna do some pliés, releves, some different exercises, still in this parallel 6 position. So in ballet, we've got some really basic things that we all know. We know how to plie, right? We know how to bend our legs. We know how to go up on our tippy toes. We know how to balance on one foot and the other. We all know how to do those things. It's the details, the little tiny details that make it all the difference. That's what makes it correct in ballet. So I like to think of it, a lot of teachers like to think of it as a checklist. So starting with our toes, we want to think about the weight being in our big toes. Yeah, most of the weight in our big toes. So we can kind of lift off at any time. The weight is never just back in our heels, because we'll fall over. Just try that real quick. Try to lean forward with the weight in our toes, and you'll realize you can go a lot farther. Your toes will catch you a lot better than your heels will when you balance back. You'll just go straight back. That's why we keep our weight in our big toes, because that'll really help us to stay really stable. Then coming up our legs, our knees, usually straight or bent. When we're just here, they're straight. When we're in tendus, they're really straight. Any sort of legs, they're really straight, lengthening through the back of our knees. Our thighs are going to be pulling up. So as if you're pulling up right here, like you had a string connected to right here, you're pulling it up. Then your stomach is engaged. That means your tummy muscles are pulling into your spine. Yeah, your rib cage is closed. This is an open rib cage. You don't want this. You want it closed. And I forgot your bum. You don't want it to stick out like this. That is not ballet. That is something else. You want it to stay engaged. Squeeze, squeeze through your core, pulling up your thighs. Now your shoulders, down and back, away from your ears. Not like this, like this. Good. Now we're pulling up through the back of our necks, like this, like somebody's pulling a string back there. And our chin is just a little bit lifted. It's not quite like this, it's just right here. You want a light touch with your hands on the bar. So whenever you're doing anything in ballet, I want to start with that because no matter what positions we're doing, we're thinking about all those little things. So you're never gonna let your bum go out. You're never gonna let your chest go like this. It's always engaged. Everything is in the right place. So let's just try some pliés like that. So in parallel 6 position, plie, stretch, plie, and stretch. Tummy engaged, stretch, rib cage closed, shoulders back. Now let's try some releves. Lower, releve, lower. Weight stays in our big toes the whole time. Our heels press together. Shoulders stay back, pulling up through our thighs. Knees lengthening. Good. And lower. Now let's do that all in first position. So our heels are together, our toes are apart. We want to make sure we're turning out from our turnout muscles. Those are up by our hips. They're not at our knees. Really important. Don't go so far that it's in your knees. You don't want to feel it in your knees at all. So if we're standing in 6th position, parallel, and we just take our toes out to the side as far as we can, that's a good way to find it in our hips. So once we feel it in our hips, we're going to do some pliés. So we're thinking about stretching, our head comes up. We're really thinking about the opposition. So we're lessening the distance between our hips and our feet, but we're still pulling up. Thighs are pulling up. Back of the neck is pulling up. Shoulders pushing down. Rib cage is closed. Stomach towards our spine. Knees go out to the side. They're pulling back. You don't want them to go forward and relax. Pulling back. Our booty stays engaged. It doesn't come out to the back like that. That is not correct in ballet. Every time that we stretch, we're zipping up. So think about a zipper that starts at your heels, comes all the way up to your thighs. We're closing that zipper really tight. Zippers don't have any gaps in it, so neither should your legs when you're stretched. Good. A couple more like that. Remember to keep going through your checklist. Back of your neck, your core engaged, rib cage closed, shoulders down and back. Thighs pulling up. Good. Now let's try some releves in first position. So our weight is still in that big toe. That will make it easy for us to come up and down. We don't want to just thump down on the ground like this. We want to really slowly control our way down. If the weight is not on our big toes, that is really hard to do. Good. A couple more like that. Keep going through that checklist. Shoulders, rib cage, core, thighs, bum, knees. Good. All right. Let's try some roll throughs. So back to 6th position, parallel. Let's try plie. And now we're just going to come up onto forced arch. Our ankles are pulling together. Our knees are pulling together. We're still bent, but we're up on forced arch. Then we're going to come up onto our eleve and lower slowly onto our heels. Now let's come back up to eleve. Our knees and our ankles are pressing together. We lower. We come down. And we lengthen. Plie. Shoulders back. Neck lifting. Eleve. Lower. And up. Knees and ankles together. Plie. Shoulders back. Core engaged. Rib cage closed. You might shake a little, that's good. It means your muscles are working. And up and lower. Good. Let's see if we can try that in first position too. So we're in turned out first position now. We're gonna plie. Just lift up. This is where it's really important to stay on the big toe of our toes. Lift up. Make sure that we tuck our bum underneath. Our core engages really hard here. And we lower. Elevate, shoulders back, rib cage close. Lower, knees pull back, and straighten. Good. All right, now that we've done that, let's do some tendus. So, pretty much every ballet class you'll ever be in, your left hand starts on the bar if we're doing one hand. That's because we usually start with our right leg, and whatever hand's on the bar, the opposite leg is working. All right? So let's do some tendus here. We'll bring our arm out to the side. This is second position. Good. Now in our tendus, do we think there's weight? When we come out to the end, is there weight on that foot? No, there's no weight on that foot. It should be able to lift up easily. Yeah? That's because all of our weight comes to our standing foot. So we lengthen through. Our ankles drive us forward. That's what makes us turn out. So we're wrapping this way. Look at your thighs right now. Do what I'm doing. Point away. That will keep you from turning in like this. Our ankle comes forward. So we'll do tendu, no weight on the foot. And in. Tendu and in. Core engages, shoulders back. Knee lengthening from the back. Standing up really tall, pulling up behind our neck. Good. Think about the outside of your standing foot. Good. And in. Let's try the other side now. Just doing to the front, just so we can see what that feels like. And out. Let's try our tendus to the front. So we're pointing through our feet, just like we were doing before. Our ankle points before our toes. Our bum is still pulling in, it's engaged. Our core is engaged. It's pulling towards our spine. It's a light touch on that bar. Don't want to be holding on to it with dear life because we're going to have to do this without the bar eventually. This is just to make sure we've got our balance. Our ankle comes forward every time. Lifting through the back of our neck. Keep going through that checklist the whole time. Good. All right, let's do a little combination here. So we're gonna start with a combination of tendus and plies. So we're gonna do one to the front. Left hand is on the bar, we're working our right hand. 2, ankle forward, 3, in, plie, and stretch to the side. Out and in. Ankle is still forward here. Out and in, plie, lifting up as we're pulling down, knees pulling back, and stretch to the back now. Good. We want to keep our turnout in this one. It's the hardest time to keep our turnout. Think about our ankles staying forward in front of our toes the whole time. Plie and stretch. Now we're going to do this en croix. That means we go back to the second after. It's like in a cross. In, plie, and stretch. So when I say en croix, it means we're going to go front, side, back, side with our combination. Like we're making a cross. A lot of times in ballet, you'll do things en croix, so it's good to remember that word. All right, friends, let's do the other side. So this is our left foot. We go front, ankle leads, 2, and 3, plie. Ankle comes forward still. 2, and 3, no weight on that foot, plie, to the back. Back, lengthening through the back of our knee. 3, keep your core engaged in this one. This one, our butt wants to come out and we want to lean over. We want to stay really engaged here. In, plie, and stretch, side, and 2, 3, plie. Good. All right, that was en croix on the left side. All right, friends, let's try some passes now. So let's take our hand to our shoulder for right now. We're just gonna practice the passe coming up. So what happens first is what lifts off the ground? Our heels. The last thing to lift off the ground is our toes, and they come right to the ankle. Do you guys know what position this is? It's coupe. This is coupe. Our knees are pressing back, pressing back, pressing back. Then we're gonna slowly lift. Weight stays in this big toe. Comes up to passe. What might we be prepping for this in our passes? What move might this look like? What do you guys think? If our hands were in first and we were balancing, what does that kind of look like? Maybe it looks like our pirouettes. So the better you can balance in your passe, the more pirouettes you can do. So let's keep thinking about all the little checklists. As we lift our toes, weight stays in the big toe. Turning out our knees, core engaged. Our butt is tucking in. Not tucking, but it's engaged. It's not coming out. Our rib cage is closed. Just hold it here. Our ankles are coming forward, not back. Ankles in front of our toes. Lifting through the back of our neck. Light weight on that bar. Let's try to balance. So the weight is in the big toe. Knee presses out. Ankle in front of toe. Back on the bar and lower to first. Good, let's try the other side now. So the better you can balance here, the better you'll be able to do your pirouettes. So that's why it's so important to really practice this. All right, let's take our arm to our shoulder. We're in first position. Weight is in the right big toe. We're gonna slowly lift our heel, then our ball and our toe. Through coupe, knees pressing back, wrapping our turnout, we wrap. Comes up, our ankle is in front of that toe, so it's not coming like this. Ankle stays in front of our toe as much as we can. Might just be in line, that's okay, just don't let it come behind the toe. Knees pressing back, shoulders pressing down, away from your head, away from your ears. Core engages, rib cage closes, bum engages. Light weight on the bar. We're gonna try to balance. Weight is in the big toe of our standing leg. Both hands on our shoulders, elbows lift, shoulders are down. Knee presses back. Engaging our core helps us to balance. Hand to the bar, lower to first. Woo, stretch it out. Let's stretch in our second position. Whenever we do something where it hurts our muscles a lot, it's good to stretch a little bit. This should be a really good workout. It's not very hard. You're probably not doing it quite right. Might want to keep going through your checklist a little more. Because I am sweating. If I'm sweating, you should be too. All right, let us try some rond de jambes. Let's keep our arm in second for our rond de jambes. Rond de jambes, what does that mean? Rond de jambes. French word. Ballet is French. It's around the leg. So we tendu to the front, ankle comes forward. It goes out to the side. Ankle is still forward, it doesn't come in. Goes to the back. Really no weight on that toe back there. Light weight on the bar. And it closes in first. Do it again. Front, side, close, side, back, close. One more like that. Front, side, close, core is engaged, side, back, close. Shoulders away from the ears. Front, side, back, through first. Front, side, back, through first. Make sure the elbow is above the hands, not like this. Through first, front, side, back, close and first. Good. Let's try going back first. So we'll do the same one that we did before. We'll do 2, back, side, in, side, front, in. 2 like that, and then we'll do a few just all the way from the back to the front. So remember, you want to think about a raindrop. Could start right here, and it would be able to go all the way down to your fingertips. So if I'm like this at all, the raindrop is going to get stuck right here. We don't want that. We want to give it length so that it can go all the way down. You want to feel that right here. If you feel it right here, you're probably engaging in the wrong way because you want your shoulders to stay away from your ears. So you should feel it underneath your arm, maybe in your arm a little bit. Yeah, it's a workout for your arm. Your arm should hurt after you do ballet. Even though your feet are the ones that are moving, your arms staying still should be just as much of a workout. All right, going through that checklist. First position, just before we even start, go through the checklist. Are your feet pressing into the ground with the big toe and the outside of the feet, especially in first position? Thighs pulling up, thumb is in and engaged. Core is pulling into our spine, engaged. Rib cage is closed, not open. Shoulders down and back. Back of the neck lifting up to the sky. Make sure our raindrop can go down. Here we go. Back and side and close. Side, no weight on that foot. Front and close to the back. And side, close, side, and front, close. Now back, through the side, to the front, through first. Back, to the side, to the front, through first. To the back, to the side, to the front, through first. Keep the ankle forward, side, back, close first. Good, those are our ronde jambes. Let's try the other foot as well. So the right hand is on the bar now. Arm comes to second. Make sure our raindrop can go down. Go through your checklist. Should be able to go through it without even me saying it, but I'll say it again. Thighs pull up, thumb engages, core engages, rib cage closes, shoulders down and back. Through the back of our neck, we're lengthening up. Raindrop, light touch of the bar. Here we go. To the front, to the side, close. Ankle forward, side. To the back, core engages, close. Front, to the side, close. Think about the outside, outside of the standing leg. Good. To the front, through the side, through the back, through first. Front, side, back, through first. Front, side, back, through first. Core is still engaged. Side, back, rib cage is closed. Close to first. Good. See how many things there are to think about in ballet? It's really hard. It hurts your brain sometimes. But if you just keep repeating it to yourself, every time that you're doing any ballet, anything, you can even just keep doing pliés. That way you don't have to think about the combination. And just think, am I turning out through my hips? Are my knees pulling back? Is my core engaged? Is my rib cage closed? Shoulders back, lengthening through the back of my neck. And once I think about the next thing, did I just lose the thing I thought about before? Make sure. It can be tricky. Okay, let's put the bar away. That's enough bar for today. All right, and we'll come to the center now. All right, so we are gonna start with our first position, and we're gonna do some échappés. So what's an échappé? It's a jump, right? What kind of jump? We start in first, we go out to second, to first, second, first, and second. We come through first every time. Down, and out, and down, and out. What's something we think about in our jumps? Want to feel really light, right? You shouldn't hear your feet thumping on the ground. They roll through our feet. That's how we do that. Our heel lifts up first, then our ball, then the top of our toe. That's why it's so important to roll through our feet, because that helps us with our jumps. So let's do some sautés. This is just in first. Sauté, sauté, sauté. Knees still press back in every plie. Everything we thought about at the bar is still happening. Échappé and close. Échappé and close. Échappé and close. Échappé and close. Good. Let's try some across the floors now. So depending on how much room you have, you might need to go in circles, you might need to do some creative stuff. I'm just gonna go from the back to the front so that you can see me, but whatever you've got is fine. So I'm gonna start back here, and we're gonna do some battements. Here, let me show you what we wanna think about first. So we're gonna do these from first, with our arms in second, and we wanna think about going through our tendu, so our ankle pushes forward in our tendu. We don't let our hips do anything funky. They stay in line with each other, just like we're at the bar. Nothing should change in our backs. The only thing that moves is our leg. So our arms stay to the side, shoulders press down. When we battement, the only thing moves is that leg. The weight is in our standing legs, big toe. Keep turning out. We go through our tendu. You shouldn't hear a sound when you close. Should be almost silent. Yeah, let's try those across the floor. So from first, let's do them. Let's step, brush through first, battement, lower. Brush and lower through first, brush and lower through first, brush, lower through first, brush, lower through first, brush, lower through first. Core stays engaged the whole time. Brush, lower, brush, lower. Good. So those are battements front. We'll just do them front today. So what do we think about in our battements? Our legs are so straight, always. Always in our battements, our legs are really, really straight. Toes are really pointed. Legs stay turned out. They don't turn in at all. They stay turned out, wrapping around our thigh. Think about something as wrapping your thigh around like this, from the inside to the outside. Ankle is forward. Let's do that again. Think about those things. Remember, it's just the little details that make ballet what it is. Remember, can the raindrop go down your arms the whole time, or are they doing this? Our shoulders are pulling down the whole time. So we step into a fourth position here. Yeah, then we go close through first to brush. Fourth through first, brush. Stay turned out, core stays engaged, rib cage stays closed. The raindrop can get from our shoulders down to our hands, no problem. And brush. Good. Let's do some stretching so that we can really brush higher. So we're gonna come down to the ground now. And we are gonna stretch front leg straight, back leg bent behind us. Try to get your knee as far back behind you as you can. And our right leg, I've got my right leg in front. Whatever leg you've got in front stays turned out here. And our toe is pointed, leg is straight. Just hold this for a second. Try to get the back hip down. Back knee goes as far back as you can. You should already feel it in the back hip. That's what it feels like to really turn out. Now let's go down. Take your chest down to your knee. You can grab onto the front toe and really stretch. Get a good stretch here. Try to go farther and farther down. Just gonna hold that for a minute. You can use your ankle to turn out if you want, but you really gotta make sure it's coming from your hips. So don't let it happen from your knee. If you can't do this without making it come from your hips, don't do it. Just think about your hips. Maybe even pull your hips out like this. Pull a little closer. See if you can get the whole top of your body onto your leg. And come up, and let's do our right split. So our right split, we want to think about the back hip, our left hip stays forward, the right hip stays back. Slowly lower down to the ground, and if you need to just stay up, stay up. If you're down, think about those hips in opposition of each other. Right hip's going back, left hip is going forward. You can, if you're all the way down, you can lower your chest to your foot, to the front leg rather, and come up. So that's your Battement. So that's what makes your Battement stay really, really high. But you gotta think about those hips twisting and the front leg turning out, because that's what we do in ballet. Hips have to stay straight, and our toes have to stay pointed, legs stay straight, stay turned out. So many things to think about. Let's try the other side. Front leg straight, back leg bent. Knees going as far behind us as they possibly can go. Sit in that for a second. Try to turn out the front leg from the hip, never from the knee. Try to think about your chest going forwards. Can you point your foot a little more? Can you sit a little taller? Good. All right, let's try our split now. Now try to lower down. For a lot of you, this might be your worst side. It's my worst side. Just try to get it as far as you can. Stay turned out. Back hip coming forward, front hip going back. Keeping our shoulders pressing away from our ears. Lengthening through the back of our necks. And if you can fold over that leg, but keep the hips in opposition of each other. Back hip going back, back hip going forward, back hip going, front hip going back. That's a mouthful. This is your worst side. You want to stretch this even more. You want to do your splits every night if you can. Really try to do these every night for at least 30 seconds on each side. But make sure you're warmed up first. Always make sure you're warmed up before you stretch. Just kind of shake your legs out a little bit. Good. All right. Let's try some across the floors. Let's do some tombe pas de bourrées. You guys heard that? Tombe pas de bourrée. Let's just do our pas de bourrées first. We're gonna keep our arms in second. We're gonna take one foot behind, other foot goes out, first leg comes in front. Here, it might look the opposite to you, just do what I say, not as I do, if it looks the opposite. So let's see, left foot behind, right foot out, left foot in front. Now, this foot is the standing foot. Right foot comes behind, left comes out, right comes forward. Make sure our ankles are leading, we're turned out. We feel that turn out from our hips, our core is still engaged, our stomach is in, and the raindrop can easily flow from our arms. Our shoulders are pressing down the whole time. Left comes back, right comes out, left in front. Right behind, left out, right in front. Left behind, right out, left in front. Right behind, left out, right in front. Left behind, right out, left in front. Right behind, left out, right in front. Try that on our tiptoes a little bit. So our right foot comes behind. We go up on our tippy toes. Left foot comes out, still on that releve. Then when our right foot comes in front, it's gonna bend and plie. So we come left behind, right out. We're up on our releve, our left plies. Right behind on releve, left, and down right in front. Left behind, right out, left plies. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Good. Now this will often be your preparation for a leap. So let's try these going across the floor. That means we're just going to have one side go. Now, in order to make it so that we don't need to switch sides, we're going to need to tombe first. So we'll start with our right foot behind the left. We're going to take our arms to second. Step out, plie on the right foot. Our head is still lifting. We're not falling over like this. We keep everything engaged and pulled up. Then we come behind, left, right, left plie. Tombe. Left, right, left plie. Plie with the right, left, left. Let's try the other side as well. So our left foot is behind to start. We're going to take the left foot out, plie. Right comes behind, releve. Left, right in front, plies. Left plies. Right behind, left out, right in front. So those are our tombe, pas de bourre. And this is a prep that you might see a lot in your leaps. So it's really good to keep practicing that. I know it's a lot to think about. It's a lot of different things moving in different ways. So I would just keep practicing that, okay? So let's do some across the floor jumps. Let's practice our pas de chat from fifth. So we haven't done much in fifth today. Let's practice that fifth position. So that's when our front heel is connected to the back toe. We're really turned out. Yeah, let's try both sides. Try to see how much you can try to connect your feet together. But make sure, again, is it coming from the knees or the hips? Comes from the hips. Try both sides. Really memorize what that feels like. Good. All right, let's try some pas de chat. So pas de chat is step of the cat. We're gonna do these from third, arms in low third, feet in fifth. So if we're going to the right, our right foot is gonna be behind the left foot, and our right arm is gonna be bent. Now, we take our right leg into passe. We put it down and we immediately bring the left foot to passe. The left foot goes in front of the right. So right comes to passe, left comes to passe, and we lower fifth with the left in front. Right passe, left passe, fifth. Right passe, left passe, fifth. Left foot always lands in front. Right passe, left passe, fifth. Now these are jumps. So we want to make sure both of our passes come up in the air. So we want to do it so fast that at one point, both passes are up at the same time. So let's see if we can do that. Right foot is behind. Here we go. Right passe, left passe. Right passe, left passe. Right passe, left passe. Keep trying those. You can practice them one at a time. Think about if we're keeping that raindrop with room to go down. If we're in first two, this one doesn't come up like this either. Stay turning out, pulling up. Right passe, left passe. And our left comes in front every time when we're going to the right. Let's try these to the left now. So if we're going to the left, what foot is in front? It'll be the opposite. be the right foot, right? And which arm is bent? It's the way that we're going towards, so our left arm is bent. Now our right foot is in front, left is behind. We're gonna bring our left passe up first, then our right, close right in front. Left passe, right in front. Left passe, right passe, in front. Left passe, right passe, close front. Let's do those as jumps. Here we go. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Rolling through our feet so that we don't hear a sound still. Remember, that happens because our toes come down first, then our ball, then the heel. See how that doesn't make any sound really? But this makes a sound. Don't want that. Let's try those back and forth one more time. To the right first. Right arm is bent, right leg is behind. And we right, left, right comes behind every time. Right, left. It's a pas de chat, step of the cat. Should feel like you're a cat that's pouncing. Now the other way, left leg is behind, left arm is bent. And left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Good. So that is the pas de chat, step of the cat. It's a good jump to remember. All right, we've just got a little bit of time, so let's do some bore, bores, and then we can do some bore leaps. So let's take our hands to our shoulders, elbows are lifted, shoulders pressing down away from your ears. Come to first position. Now we're gonna put the weight in those big toes, pushing through the ground to rise up. And we're gonna run really fast, legs straight, toes up on our tippy toes. Little runs. The back of our neck is lifting up, our shoulders are down, core is engaged. Try to go a little faster. Good. So we're gonna do our bores into our leaps today. So give yourself some room. So in our leaps, we wanna think about it as a brush. Here, let's do just our jetés today. So our legs don't bend at all in our jetés. We brush through bas main on whatever side we're starting with, up in the air, and we land in an arabesque. We want to try to bring both of our legs up at the same time. So the way that we do that is by brushing so hard on that front leg and think about our back leg coming up. Up. Good. Let's try that again. We'll bring our hands to first. Bore, and brush first. So when we're running, our hands are in first. When we leap, we're gonna bring our arms out here. Yeah? Let's try our right side. Run, and leap. Both legs stay straight. Bring our arms right back to first. Run, and leap first. Keep trying that. Here we go. Run, and leap, and first. Let's try our other side as well. Here we go. Run, leap, and first. Here we go, left side, or whatever side you haven't done. Left, first. Make sure your legs are really straight, lengthening through the bottom of our knees. Our chest stays lifted, nothing kind of just lets go. Just because our legs are the ones that are doing the most work doesn't mean that the rest of us can take a break. Nothing is ever just taking a break in ballet. Run, and leap. Let's do it one more. Run, and leap. Good. Let's see. Oh yeah. All right. We're all done for the day. Let's do some quick reveras. All right. Real quick now. come into fifth with our right foot behind the left. Arms come up to first, out to second. Tendu the right foot, curtsy with the left behind. Now the other side, left is behind, the right in fifth position. Arms come to first and to second. Tendu and curtsy. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Great job. Thank you for working so hard today. Don't forget to stretch.